Good morning, Center for Spiritual Living, Los Angeles. My name is Melissa Lewis. It is my pleasure to be here and to be doing music for you today. I'm going to start with a song called We Come Together. Take a look at the person next to you. Say God loves you and I love you too. Now feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together, we come together, we come together in the name of love. We come together, we come together, we come together in the name of love. Now look at the person next to you. Say, I recognize the God in you. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together, we come together, we come together in the name of love. We come together, we come together, we come together in the name of love. From every walk of life, every creed and color, in kinship we unite, in the honor of God and each other. Take a look at the person next to you. Say it, namaste, I bow to you. Now feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together, we come together, we come together in the name of love. We come together, we come together, we come together in the name of love, in the name of love.
Good morning, Melissa Lewis.
Good morning, Dr. Keith.
We do indeed come together in the name of love. I love that song. It's so fabulous, even though it required a bit of imagination for all of us, since we're actually, the sanctuary is in our state of our imagination and in our own mind. But what a glorious opportunity we have to come together this morning.
Absolutely.
And it's so beautiful to have you with us today, as always. You're such a special part of the CSL-LA community. And what a blessing that we have you with us today.
Thank you. It's my pleasure, love.
Good. Well, I look forward to sharing with you some wonderful experiences and that beautiful music that you have to share for us. So let's all honor and acknowledge Melissa Lewis, and she'll be back with us later today.
Thank you.
And good morning, everyone. I'm Reverend Dr. Keith Cox, and it's Sunday morning, April 30th in the year 2023, and we do indeed come together via Zoom and YouTube live for our Sunday morning celebration service. Know that exactly where you are is the perfect and right place to express your individuality, to have your divinity shine just the way it's supposed to shine, and in so doing, making a difference in your world and the world. If you're with us for the first time, a big hello and thank you. And for all of us that come together today, what a great opportunity that we have to be able to see and feel each other through this wonderful technology that we have before us. And so know that you are honored just where you are, welcomed and celebrated. I'm going to put on the screen our opening slides for us to begin our Sunday morning celebration service. We are the Center for Spiritual Living, Los Angeles, and we come together as a community to do just as Melissa sang of in the song, to look at the person next to us, literally imaginative and a metaphor, and yet real because we navigate life itself, to honor the power within each and every individual of life itself. On the screen it says, "The spirit within me salutes and honors that within you." That is through the act of namaste. I invite us all to take a deep breath in, no matter where we are, unless we're driving, and then focus on the wheel. Taking an exhale, placing our hands together in prayer position in front of our heart, feeling the unitedness that we share, the divine that's within each and every one of us, that exists within each and every one of us. And let's Lean forward and say together, Namaste. That within me honors and acknowledges that within you, and I receive that honoring of me as well. We are a community that welcomes each and every individual. We teach the science of mind primarily, which is philosophy, faith, and way of life, created by Dr. Ernest Holmes and published in 1926, so almost 100 years ago. And the essence of this philosophy, faith, and way of life is there's only one activity taking place in life. We call it life. It's also known by the names of the source, the thing itself, even called God. That infinite power individualizes itself by means of you and by means of me. We both experience and express it through our thoughts and our beliefs, our actions, our reactions, and our interactions with the very thing itself. And because we live in a universe that is governed by spiritual law, our very essence of being and how we tend to that and how we use it in life comes back to us in form. So we get to see the totality of our mind outpicturing in the world itself. And so if we're not happy with or pleased with that which we are experiencing, or would simply just like for it to be different, we go by that age-old metaphysical statement of change your thinking, change your life. The vision statement for our community is supporting individuals finding their personal self-empowerment through a spiritual awakening. I invite you to hear that today in a new way. Supporting individuals, you, me, all expressions of the divine on this planet and all are expressions of the divine, finding personal self-empowerment through a spiritual awakening. In our teaching, an awakening is the remembrance. We are one with the infinite sea of consciousness, that thing that is. And so our goal today and each and every day is to support everybody as we live out our divinity. As a community, we welcome all races, all religions, all countries of origins, all sexual orientations, all genders, all abilities. We stand with you, literally, when we're together, heart to heart, shoulder to shoulder, soul to soul, and in general in life as we navigate the activities of life itself, as well as metaphorically when we're not with each other face to face. We all know that because everything is indeed energy and we are all interconnected and interrelated, that as we honor and welcome and celebrate all of life itself, that returns to us as an opportunity for personal self-empowerment. We also know that our word has power. So when we speak it out loud, it literally impacts the vibrational frequency, the aura of all of that which is around us. And so let's join in together and say out loud, we welcome one and we welcome all. We like to open our services in the morning with a morning ritual. It gives us an opportunity to be reflective, to literally or metaphorically turn within, and to remember the qualities of the divine that we're each imbued with. They include peace and power and beauty and joy and life and love and wisdom and light. This ritual is called Calling in the Light. I really like the acronym for light, living in God's healing truth. That healing truth is already within us. We're imbued with it, the oneness of life, these qualities. And as we remember who we are and allow that to be revealed through us, we indeed call in, metaphorically, the light, and a change occurs. So our ritual, we perform this ritual, this ceremony, to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all people and all faiths, all sentient beings come from the one great universal presence, which we call spirit. The purpose of this ritual is to draw into our gathering this morning, for each of us and us collectively, a more conscious awareness of our oneness and those qualities I spoke of earlier that we possess as complete expressions of the divine. I invite you to look into the orb of light on the screen and know for yourself already that you already are a complete expression of the divine. There's nothing that you can add to and nothing to be taken away to make each of us more divine. But there's a lot we get to do to experience and to express it more and more and more. In this ritual, as we feel the vibrations shift during this ritual, may we all become ever more aware of the light of life that exists in and as all expressions of life, which includes you and it includes me. Our affirmation this morning is from Mahatma Gandhi. And I invite you to hear it and receive it for yourself, as well as to feel yourself giving that to all sentient beings, all experiences and beings of faith and life and love. He states, I offer you peace. I offer you love. I offer you friendship. I see your beauty. I hear your need. And I feel your feelings. For my wisdom flows from the highest source. And I salute that source in you, and let us work together for unity and for peace. Imagine as we continue on our journey of finding personal self-empowerment through a spiritual awakening, we all worked together, thought by thought, action by action, reaction by reaction, interaction by interaction, towards unity and of peace. A great way to anchor that is by singing together our song, Calling in the Light. Melissa's going to take us through it, and she's going to come on the screen. It's a call and response song, and you'll see that the lyrics to our part are on the screen. Melissa.
Calling in the light, calling in the light, calling in the light of love, calling in the light, calling in the light, calling in the light of love. I am love, I am love, I am peace, I am peace in my heart, in my heart. I am free, I am free, I am spirit, I am spirit, I am soul, I am soul. All together, all together, we are whole. I am calling in the light, calling in the light, calling in the light of love. I am calling in the light, calling in the light, calling in the light of love. And so it is, and so it is, and so it is, and so it is.
Visceral and touching, because it's an opportunity to connect and resonate with our soul. Right? I often teach that if we were to imagine and visualize our soul is sitting right there above our navel, inside the cavity of our being. So we can really imagine ourselves going deeper and deeper and deeper into that space and connecting. So, Melissa, what is the next song you have for us?
You know what? This is a song that I learned years and years ago, and I haven't done it in ages, and something was telling me to do it today. It's called
Great.
In Your Heart.
In Your Heart. Fabulous. Take it away.
There is a place where you can always go. Come with me. Where it's alright to let your feelings show. Come with me. What a pleasant journey. It isn't very far. We could go together or stay right where you are. And now it's time to start. It's right here in your heart. There is a place where you can be yourself. Come with me. And it's a place where you can free yourself. Come with me. And you know it's waiting. It's not so far away. You need no reservations. Yeah, we could go today. And now it's time to start. It's right here in your heart. And the light shines through each window, and the door is open wide, and each question has an answer if you only look inside. There is a place where every sorrow ends. Come with me. Where every hope and every truth begins. Come with me. What a pleasant journey, isn't very far. We could go together or stay right where you are. And now it's time to start. It's right here in your heart. Yeah, now it's time to start. It's right here in your heart.
So beautiful.
Yeah.
I love that concept of it's right here in your heart, right? Being obviously the heart is the symbol of love, and in our teaching, love is the self-givingness of spirit whose desire is to create more of itself. And the only way it can do that is through us, out of itself through us, right? And then heart is the symbol for love, as I said, and then that is also the essence of courage. So it requires courage to start, to love, to give. So,
Absolutely.
and to be open to that happening through us, right? To be open to that happening through us. That's what I'm going to talk about today. So thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. As always, beautiful and fabulous.
Thank you.
So I'm going to put on the screen today. I have for us a multimedia slideshow. I like to shake it up. We're in person one Sunday. I do spontaneous talks one Sunday. Then you get to see just all of me one Sunday, and then one Sunday we get to see slideshows. Today we're going to do that. Our message is going to have lots of visuals to go with it to stimulate those that learn that way and are ready for just that, visual learning. And so without further ado, let's put that on the screen to start our message for today. And so, as once again, remembering that our vision statement is supporting individuals finding personal self empowerment through a spiritual awakening. It's a new day. We wrap up our theme for the month of April, which is new beginnings. It's a new beginning, a time for new beginnings. Today, I invite us to remember that each and every moment is an opportunity for a new beginning, and that we get to have an influence and an impact on each moment of these new beginnings by choosing to make good choices. Now, I really want to be clear here. I'm not making that element, that good part, a judgment, but we all know what choices that we can make in our life that further our spiritual awakening, that further our ability to find personal self-empowerment, to remember who we are and what our role is in this creative process of co-creating the life that we desire. Ernest Holmes tells us that when one realizes that everything is mind, uppercase M, and that nothing moves but mind, and that the only instrument of mind is thought, which is contemplation in some form or another, they will see that nothing can permanently heal unless it be accompanied by right thinking. Healing really is what we're all about, each thought by thought and interaction by interaction of life itself. Healing through the sense of, as Holmes tells us, the revealing of the oneness that exists already, the wholeness of life itself. That is what we are called to do, and I know we all yearn to experience more and more of that. It's important to remember that the only way we can experience that is by choosing to express it through that realization that it's already there. Everything is already mind, and that we attune to that through our thinking. By making choices in life that indeed make change happen, because that's the way life works, and as a result of that, the outer reflects the inner always, but we have an ability to decide how we want that outer to look, to feel, to be, as a result of what we're choosing to be ourselves. It's all about being open to the spontaneous nature of spirit. Today, our sub-theme is spontaneity is the way. I know that for myself, and I'm sure it's true for so many of us, that we get caught in the rut of the everyday minutia of life itself, the lack of willingness or even forgetfulness to open up to spontaneity. And I've had some great experiences over the week of being willing to just be spontaneous. Yesterday was one with someone calling me asking for spiritual mind treatment, and the feeling that goes with the aspect of spontaneity, of just immediately diving in and doing that which we have the option and capacity to do. But I think most of us are probably like this fun little joke on the screen, which is about predicting spontaneity. The one person says, "Our lives are so predictable." And the man to her left says, "I knew you were going to say that." Right? We live in this almost predetermined way of what life is going to be. But today, let's open ourselves up to remember that it's only in spontaneity where we can be who we truly are, where we get to experience more of that divine nature that we're imbued with. Holmes says that since we must all begin right where we are, most of us will be compelled to begin our healing work, that revealing of our oneness, our wholeness, with a mechanical process. We should take the highest thought we have and attempt to enlarge on this consciousness until it embraces a more vital concept of reality. Well, what does that mean, to embrace a more vital concept from the highest thought? And one of the things that I love about the map of consciousness, and I don't have it to put on the screen for you right now, is if you look at that, there's always a higher realm of consciousness that we can use from an emotional perspective, from a state of being perspective, from a view of the divine perspective, that we can elevate our thinking in a way to ultimately change our experience of life. If you and I are on a journey, as we are, of finding our personal self-empowerment through a spiritual awakening, and find ourselves in the rut, not really clear on what more vital concept of reality to engage in, we always can look to those qualities of the divine and ask ourselves, can I think more of peace, of power, of beauty, of joy, of light, of life, of love, and of course of wisdom? It goes on to tell us here that consciousness, in this sense, means an inner embodiment of ideas. We oftentimes refer to that as an awareness of our awareness. It means an inner embodiment, an owning of our thoughts, our beliefs, our ideology, our imagination, our divine qualities. He goes on to tell us that if one wishes to demonstrate, to experience prosperity or peace, goodwill, or kindness, he or they must first have a consciousness, an awareness of those things that we desire to experience. It's setting us up for the act as if principle, to own it so that it may become real. He goes on to say, well, this is more than faith. It's the knowledge and the wisdom, I'll add to that, that we're dealing with an immutable law. While a certain consciousness may be mechanically induced, of course, the more spontaneity put into the mechanical word, the more power the word must have. I told you a moment ago about yesterday being called to do spiritual mind treatment work, and it was through that spontaneity that the vibrational frequency seems to be higher than if we were to just read it out of a magazine or a pre-printed spiritual mind treatment and or prayer. Spontaneity is really the best kind of adventure. It's so funny, as I was viewing this morning for our message for today, after having prepared it yesterday, I was looking at it and hearing the word spontaneity. In the background, I had the television on with the morning news, and they were talking about upcoming travel and the cost of travel. And the guy on the screen said, and the most adventurous and fun types of travel is spontaneous travel, as this slide popped up. A reminder to all of us, if we're willing and open to the mind of God making itself known, it does that if we're willing to be open and allow it to show itself. Living spontaneously. What's the meaning of living spontaneously? Well, the traditional definition is coming or resulting from a natural impulse or tendency, without effort or premeditation, natural or constrained, unplanned, a spontaneous burst of applause. We all know what it feels like to release ourselves from the imprisonment of the past and the patterns of the everyday minutiae, and to be willing to step into that which is spontaneous. If we look at nature, we see often activities of spontaneity taking place, or at least we can view them from that perspective. The key is to have a mindset of remembering that impossible is just an opinion. I invite us all to ask ourselves today, where are we living in a state of believing impossibility? And to realize that that's just an opinion. And to even reflect on the times in our life when we were willing to open up to that which was possible in life. The great Audrey Hepburn is quoted as saying, and I'm not sure she stated this, but we'll use that as a reference, was spontaneous belief that she did. Nothing is impossible because the word itself says, I'm possible. The very basics of foundations of our teaching is to believe in what is possible in our life, to be willing to open up and begin anew each day with a mind that is fresh and clear and engaged in the possibilities of experiencing more and more of our divine nature, and that can only happen when we're willing to own it and to be it and to express it. Impossible stops you before you even start, where I'm possible gives you a target. And I love this because it tells us when we change our thinking to I'm possible, we can then begin to use the target of the core of our mind to change our thinking, ultimately changing our life. This visual on the screen of the bullseye framework indeed shows us that. It's an example of, and we all know what a bullseye is. It's for thinking in those outer realms, in this case the blue. It shows us that we're looking at long shots for tapping into what's possible for us in our life and that becoming made real. Or if we then move into the possibilities of life, we get closer to hitting that bullseye. But when we then tap into the highest potential channels, that higher cosmic state of reality, as referenced earlier, of moving into those qualities of the divine they're already imbued with, that it's through that thinking that our experiences will more and more reflect our divinity, of bringing forth through us experiences that reflect not only our divine nature, but those higher ideas that we desire for ourselves. 6 ways to turn impossible into I'm possible are these. First, identify your why. And that's a big concept in the sense of, why do I want to experience certain things, or why do I want to do certain things or be certain things in life? And if it's hard to find the answer to that why, once again, let's turn back to the qualities of the divine, and the why can be to experience more peace or power or beauty or joy or light or life or love and or wisdom. That alone can be the impetus to a new way of thinking. The second is to ditch excuses and avoid your triggers. In other words, to let go of that which has previously been preventing us from the willingness to be open to a new possibility, and to stay away from putting ourselves in situations or scenarios or past experiences that not only cause a trigger, but oftentimes, if not most often, is steeped in fear of what can unfold. The third is, honey, I shrunk the obstacle. In other words, step into a state of contemplation, of asking ourselves, what is preventing me from experiencing what I desire? What is it that I'm feeling? Is there any reality to this? Why is it this way? Am I willing to see things differently? Am I willing to be open to the possibility of having the experience and the expression of the thing that I desire? It's breaking it down so that it's logical, digestible, tangible. The fourth is, ride the waves and embrace your inner Nancy Drew. In other words, ride the waves of our emotions, of our experiences, of our processes, and give ourselves the ability to embrace the state of contemplation, of questioning, of asking ourselves, has there ever been a time in our life when our impossibility that was previously a state of mind become a possibility and then a reality? Am I willing to do the work to unfurl that which may have been an obstacle before, or that which can reveal a sense of faith? The fifth is, don't be discouraged. Courage is the base word for discouraged, which means to live from the heart. I love it because this is telling us, don't be discouraged. In other words, live from a state of encouragement, from living in the heart, to do as Melissa's song said earlier, and to let love, as the self-givingness of spirit, be the guide. The sixth is, don't confuse I can't with I don't want to. If you don't want to do something, give yourself permission to have clarity around that and don't do it. But don't clutter your mind with a belief system of what you can or cannot do and or be in life. Allow clarity to be the foundation from which we step into possibilities in life. To live spontaneously, which is what we're all saying yes to today, and I'm affirming that for each of us, requires a deep-seated belief that anything and everything is possible within the realm of possibility. If we apply ourselves fully and be open, be willing to have a new idea, a new perspective, a new experience. It's imperative to trust the process and go with the flow of life without second-guessing yourself. Being spontaneous is all about allowing detours and randomness to come into your life. I experienced that this past week when I injured my hamstring last Sunday, in a situation that I would have loved to have not had happen. And yet it did. And throughout this journey, throughout the week, there have been certainly many detours and randomness that has shown up, as well as a substantial amount of love and faith and willingness to let others take care of me, to trust my deep-rooted belief system that healing is possible, and to listen to my body, and when it tells me to rest, and when it spontaneously says schedule a deep tissue rolfing massage, do that as well. It's all about staying present in the moment and listening, not just to our body, but to the voice of the divine as it speaks through us. To be willing to know that love is the key that opens the heart, and that hope is the dream that awakens the soul, and that peace is the light that guides the way, and faith is the certainty that sees us through. No matter what detours come our way in life, if we could let this be our guide, that which has previously been impossible will certainly become possible, then become a reality in our life. We're told in the book of the Bible, Matthew, that faith as small as a mustard seed can move mountains. I love this quote because what it reminds us each of is that the faith as small as a mustard seed, we can all imagine a mustard seed because we've all seen grainy Dijon mustard, is that that tiny little seed has inherently within that the intelligence, the wisdom, the energy to become a mustard plant. In other words, to fulfill its destiny. And you and I have that same energy, intellect, intelligence, and wisdom and power within us as well. Today we get to ask ourselves, what desires do we have that we're wanting to be made manifest? The great Deepak Chopra tells us that there are 7 principles for spontaneous fulfillment of these desires. 1, to remember that you are a ripple in the fabric of the cosmos. And 2, through the mirror of relationships, you discover your non-local, your divine self. 3, that as we master your inner dialogue, to remember that each and every word, thought, belief has influence over the totality of our consciousness and ultimately that which we get to experience. To ask ourselves, are we willing to communicate with ourselves more and more and more in the realm of what is possible, and be willing to live in a state of spontaneity whereby life begins to show up in multiple ways and a multi-dimensionality of its own energy. The 4th is to remember that your intent weaves the tapestry of the universe. One of my dear spiritual mentors, Dr. Maureen Hoyt, has posted recently and shared with me a quote from the great metaphysical teacher of the 20th century, Reverend Helen Street. And she basically would say, your intention is everything in life. Our intention is everything in life. And I've learned over this journey of my life and becoming more and more of an awakened metaphysician, is that it all begins with the intention. If we're but willing to just set the intention to live in the realm of possibility, if we're but willing to set the intention to have a different experience, if we're but willing to set the intention for healing to take place within us, the mechanics of the universe, not the mechanics of our daily activity, the mechanics of the creative process of the universe immediately begins to do its part to reveal this wholeness, this oneness, the possibilities becoming real in our life. Remember, Deepak Chopra also is the one that tells us that inherent within the seed of intention already is the fulfillment of its desire. And so then the 5th principle is to harness your emotional turbulence. He's not telling us here to not have it. He's saying when it shows up, to then harness it, to take the energy of our emotions and convert them into energy that is productive, energy that is fueling this transformation that we each desire to experience in life, that fuels a new mindset, using that energy to set those intentions, ultimately changing the experiences in our life. The 6th is to celebrate the dance of the cosmos. This is so provocative because it tells us that at all times the cosmos out there is dancing and moving and ecstatic and energetic and alive, and the very essence of that which it is within you and within me. And so not only is it dancing, but we get to dance as well. It's through that dance that we step from impossibility into possibility. And he says the 7th principle is to access the conspiracy of improbability. In other words, delve into our mind and find out what we believe is improbable or impossible and change that to I'm possible. The key to living a synchro destiny and spontaneous fulfillment of desires are those 7 principles. You and I have before us each and every day and each and every thought and each and every opportunity to live from a place of the spiritual wisdom that we're each imbued with. And to remember that the mechanical laws of nature, are set and immutable. But the spontaneous recognition of these laws give us the power to bring them into practical use in everyday life and experience. I know that's what you're seeking to have more of in life, and I know that I am as well. And we have before us the opportunity to do that. Lao Tzu tells us that life is a series of natural and spontaneous changes. Don't resist them. That only creates sorrow. Let reality be reality. Let things flow naturally forward in whatever way they like. And he's telling us to roll with the flow while at the same time remember that in the spontaneity of life, it's up to us to remember that if we want to experience that which we desire in life, what is required of us is to have an open mind. An open mind, as we all know, is much like an open parachute, for a closed mind is much like a closed one as well. Today, let's all make a commitment to be open, to be willing, and to be ready. When we choose to be open and to be willing and then to be ready, life indeed will change. Why? Because that's the way it works. Let's you and I remember that today is the day, which is the theme for the month of May, by the way. That today is the day, meaning that each and every moment we have before us to the willingness to live life fully and to enjoy it and have a little fun. I love this quote on the screen. They say that spontaneity is the spice of life, but I don't see it on the shelf, so I'm going with this garlic powder. But what a reminder to tell us to lighten up and to live life with a sense of joy and to remember that spontaneity is the spice of life, but drama is not. Today's the day that you and I get to choose to be more spontaneous, to be more willing, to be more open, to be ready. And to remember that some of the most thrilling things in life are done on impulse. On impulse. For today is the day that we get to put this into play. Remember, we're each on a journey in life of finding personal self-empowerment should we desire that that's what we desire. And we do that through a spiritual awakening. I don't know about you, but for me, I'm enjoy this journey of stepping into the unknown and discovering that through it, we can indeed be fragile and be strong and be terrified and brave all at the same time. That when we're willing to begin to fine-tune the way that we interact with life itself and ourselves and our inner dialogue and all of life itself, that mechanical aspect of life, the laws, remembering that they are immutable and already set, they do indeed respond to us. Sometimes that happens instantaneously, sometimes it takes a little while. But it's important to remember it doesn't know time, it only knows to respond. The stained glass picture on the right is the symbol of the creative process that we teach in the Science of Mind. It shows in those upper elements what represents the thinking, the way that we show up and act, react, interact. I know I say that a lot, but it's important for us to remember that those are the facets by which we participate in life. We act, we react, we interact, we think, we express, and then we experience. As that energy moves down into the V that we see on the screen, that's where it's all moved into then our subconscious and then into that creative process, those immutable, already set laws of life. And then moving through that point of life, of the V itself, is how life then becomes form, experience. All reminding us that we play a vital role in the creative process of life. Yes, at the macro level, but also at the micro, moment by moment, thought by thought, action by action, reaction and interaction by those as well. Today, you and I have before us the opportunity, as today being the day, to step into the unknown with a new mindset, to allow ourselves to be fragile and strong. Allow the fear to show up as well as the bravery. And to know that it's our own individual journey. And that the first rule that we have before us in number 171, the rules of how to be happy, is to be spontaneous. To know that wanting to be perfect is boring in life, where spontaneity is indeed the key. The essence of pleasure is spontaneity. It is being present in the present. Now, I get the irony of talking about being spontaneous while every slide and everything that I'm sharing with you has been pre-planned. But I'm doing that for us to be willing to be open to the cosmos and the dance that's taking place and our individual interaction with that and the openness that we can create for ourselves to the fun and the joy and the willingness and the power that exists for us to draw into our being. It's all happening, not just around us, but through us as well. And to remember that every individual is a unique manifestation of the whole, no matter how they act, as every branch is a particular outreaching of the tree of life. Today is the day whereby you and I not only get to honor our own unique manifestation, but to be willing to be spontaneous in doing that and seeing that for others, no matter how they've been in our life up until this very moment. And to remember that the universe says yes. What that means is it responds to us exactly how we show up in an affirmative way. But it also requires us saying yes. Yes to spontaneity. Yes to being conscientious in the co-creative process. Yes to playing a more vital role in co-creating the life that we desire. So what question in your life are you ready to say yes to? Excuse me. And what can you do today to be more spontaneous? Give yourself the space to say yes to it and to practice it and to do it and to know that the life of the divine as you gets to experience the consciousness of you. And so today let's raise ourselves to a higher and higher and higher vibrational frequency. As one of my great teachers, Kennedy Schultz, used to say, and so ends the lesson, and so it is. Thank you. I invite back to the screen Melissa to sing another song for us.
Yes, yes, yes. That was fantastic, Dr. Keith. Well, the rent is cheap and the ceilings droop, and I can tell it don't look like much to you, but that's okay. Yeah, that's alright. Just let me be. You know, I never felt right in a business suit, and I know how that would have worked for you, but that's okay. Yeah, that's alright. Just let me be. I wanna chase what whim I've got, don't wanna tie myself in knots around your backup plans, 'cause that's not who I am. Let me trip on my own 2 feet, brush off my own skin knees, ask my own heart for help. I've gotta let myself learn from my own mistakes, drive some without the brakes, find some of my own dreams. Just let me be me. I put my last $2 in this washing machine. I guess I'll live on trust and canned baked beans for a while. Yeah, I'll get by, just let me be. And now I might get lost, but I'm not broken down. And if I spin my wheels, just let me ride it out. I've got time, I'll be fine, just let me be. And I know what I have to do, and all I really want from you is just some faith in me, a little room to breathe. Let me trip on my own 2 feet, brush off my own skin knees, ask my own heart for help. I've gotta let myself learn from my own mistakes, drive some without the brakes, find some of my own dreams. Just let me be, yeah. Hey, let me trip on my own 2 feet, brush off my own skin knees, ask my own heart for help. I've gotta let myself learn from my own mistakes, drive some without the brakes, find some of my own dreams. Just let me be, yeah. Let me be me. Let me be me.
I love that lyric. Drive without my foot on the brake. Was that it?
Drive some without the brakes.
Have some. I love that. I love it.
Who
So
needs brakes? Yeah.
depends on where you're driving, right?
But true, true.
Depends on where you're driving. Thank you, Melissa.
You're welcome. Thank you.
You're welcome. And so now we have the opportunity before us to support our community financially. Know that all aspects of your financial contributions are deeply acknowledged and appreciated and put to great use. We've been doing a lot of work this last couple of weeks and redoing our app and our website and some new videos and stuff. And so just know that it's all part of the evolution of our intent to grow and change and express ourselves at a greater level. If you'd like to support us, you can go to our website, csl-la.org, and click on Donate. Also, you can go to the app in the App Store. Once again, that will be launched soon as a lot of new components to it. Center for Spiritual Living Los Angeles. Click on the upper left bars, and the screen will come up. You'll see the Donate tab, and we appreciate it when you use it. Mail in a check. Our address is 1200 North La Brea Avenue, West Hollywood, California, 90038. As well as you can call me. My number's on the screen if you'd like for me to handle that privately. Know that once again, each and every donation and contribution of participation in your conscious giving is acknowledged and deeply appreciated, and know that that's part of the oneness of life itself. Our conscious giving song is called Love Is My Decision. Melissa's going to come back and sing that for us as we each take a moment to do our part in supporting our community.
Love is my decision, and no one else can tell me to start. And once I decide to change my mind, Source will show me how. Love is my decision. It's my decision, right here, right now. It's my decision, right here, right now.
Thank you, Melissa.
Thank you.
Thank you, and so it is. You'll see on the screen right now. I don't know what happened there. Well, anyway, to tell you about our weekday Wednesday morning meditations. They take place at 8:30 a.m. on Zoom. and as well. And so you're welcome. We invite all of you to join us in that experience of meditation. It's a great tool to reconnect to the practice of listening and meditation. That information can all be found on our weekly e-newsletter, our website, and our app in the App Store. And would invite you to join us. You don't need to put your lips on and be pretty in the morning. You don't even have to turn your camera on. Just come on and listen, and I'll guide us through that meditation. So if you're new here with us and have never tried that, or if you've been here with us and have never tried it, please give yourself the gift of a weekday morning meditation, Wednesday morning at 8:30 a.m. Those past meditations can be found, links to that also on our website, and all other elements of our communication, which is Facebook, YouTube Live, and that's that. Big thank you to Melissa Lewis for her fabulous music this morning, and always love having Melissa in the house of the CSL-LA. And so, Melissa, know that you're loved and appreciated and indeed celebrated. And love, yes. And I know you got a lot going on in your life today, so to be able to carve this out and do it, know that it's appreciated and honored.
Absolutely. My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. A big thank you to Travis Smith, our audio technician, for guiding us through that journey, which is an ongoing journey each time. So thank you, Travis. And a big thank you to Robert Hensley, our both administrative assistant and social media tech person, for all that you do to keep us in alignment here on our journey as a community. A big thank you to each and every one of you for being here with us today from whatever avenue you came, whether it was Zoom and or through YouTube Live, and whatever means brought you into the realm of our community. Know that you are celebrated and honored and acknowledged just as you are. Other things to be aware of is each morning, 7:30, there's a new thought text for the day that goes out. Hopefully you're all signed up and getting those. And if not, you can sign up through our website or the app, as well as our weekly e-newsletter. And then an animated graphic of that goes out through our social media sites as well. So I invite you to participate in that. Also, be on the lookout in our weekly e-newsletter. There's a May the 7th, which I believe is next Sunday. The intersection of Lexington and La Brea Avenue is being declared a place for peace. It's an honoring and acknowledging of all the work that Rabbi Denise Eager has done with Congregation Kolami, and there will be a small gathering of the mayor of West Hollywood to install, which I'm assuming is going to be probably a peace pole there, and then a celebration of that. And so we'll send that information out to you if you'd like to come to that. It would be a great experience. You will need to RSVP, and that information will be on our email that we'll send out to everyone. Also, we're back in person the following Sunday, which is the 14th, which I believe is Mother's Day. We have a big service planned for that, so know that we look forward to seeing you all there. So that completes our service for the morning. We're going to close with a meditation and affirmative prayer. I invite you to, once again, close your eyes if that's comfortable and safe for you where you are. And be willing to engage in the spontaneity of life today and tomorrow and the next day. To let go of the doldrums and the doldrums of the everyday activities that we all get so accustomed to engaging in. And so I invite you to close your eyes if that feels comfortable, and to feel the presence and the power of the divine that's doing its thing through us, giving us the opportunity to not only feel the presence, but tune into it, as if tuning into a radio frequency. And to know that it's through this act of attuning, of aligning, that we provide for ourselves, through ourselves, the opportunity for healing, the revealing of the wholeness and the oneness that is within us already. So I invite you to feel the inner state of calm, of peace, and power, an animating principle of being, and beauty, that looks to you. And joy, the expectancy of more and more of the good of the divine. And light, that flickering flame of life that exists in all. And love, the self-givingness of the power itself, and its desire to express more of itself. If it can do that, it does that through you and through me. So we affirm that that's happening right now, all steeped in wisdom. The wisdom, the intelligence that exists within the mustard seed and within you and within me. We let these all be a frame of consciousness that we move into and allow to be present for us. And remembering that the law of life responds to us by corresponding to our state of being. So we begin to imagine our life being fueled by spontaneous energy. Maybe even combustion. Not from an act of destroying, but through the act of revealing the power that's already there. Good is present in and as our life right now. And we open our minds to the possibility of more and more and more of it. And we open up to being the channel by which it expresses itself. It's exciting. It's fun. And we engage in it with a sense of wonderment, knowing that its nature is unfailing. And so we live accordingly and let it be. And so it is. Thank you all for being here today as we say goodbye to those of you on YouTube Live. Those that are still on Zoom, we'll turn our cameras on if you'd like to do so and say hello for a brief moment and engage with each other. Peace and blessings continue to be the beautiful you that you are.